is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of the prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein.
Right, so here the Most High in Yahweh is teaching us, blessed are those that read and hear the word of the prophecy, which the Most High is showing us. Where's the prophecy of the Most High? Where's the prophecy of the Most High?
In the scriptures.
Yeah, in the Bible, in the holy word, the Gospels, the Most High's word. He says, blessed is he that readeth it. The Most High, what do the scriptures say where Yahweh comes in the volume of what?
The book.
The book. Yeah. Comes in, and he said, study to show thyself approved. Right? So studying is very important. When you read the scriptures, where do you think the disciples got their information and got the word from? From the books that were left by the Old Testament, from the books that were left for the Old Testament. All right? And also the prophets, where they get the information from? From the books that were left during their time. And so on and so on. Go all the way back. Adam wrote books. Noah wrote books. All right? Shem wrote books. Enoch, of course, wrote books. All right? So, but because why? The Most High's word, when the Most High brings his word down to the prophet's job was to do what? Record it and become that messenger of the Most High. But he had to record it also. Especially the word that the Most High wanted to record. There was a time when the Most High said, don't record that. Or don't write that down. But for the most part, they had to record it. And then those books were left for the next generation of prophets. And then after that, for the next generation and so forth. And that's how the word is passed down. The word is passed down. So here it is now. The Most High gathered the books together. Right? You got the Old Testament that was gathered together, especially when Yahweh came on the scene, right? The Old Testament was already gathered together. So that's what the disciples and our people during the time of Yahweh, when Yahweh came, that's what they were reading. They were reading the Pentateuch. They were reading the Torah. They were reading the Old Testament. Okay, come? And then of course, after Yahweh, the Gospels, okay, was brought together, okay, and put together, and now we have what they call the Bible. You bring it up to the date, you have what they call the Bible, which Bible means books or many books, biblos, books. Okay, so as you know, it's many books brought together. The word of the Most High brought together. All right, so this is what you have. So blessed is a man that read. So we have to read. And then it says, get knowledge, get wisdom, but above all, get understanding. So in our reading, we have to get understanding. Okay? So that's important. So read that one more time, Mark.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 1, verse 3. Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of the prophecy, and keep those things while written therein.
Right. So, and you brothers, you're in the steward program now, but as you are being risen up, you must realize studying is an important, integral part of being a prophet of the Most High, or a disciple of Yahweh. Very important. And a steward of the Most High. That's very important. Because if you don't read and study, right, and study to show thyself approved, when you out there and you prophesying to the people, what's going to happen? Right? What's going to happen? And then it says, so you be a workman not to be ashamed. Understand? You don't want to be ashamed. So that's why it's very important. That's why we say, when you take the steward program test, the test, you should know the 12 tribes. Got to know who the 12 tribes are. That's important, right? Because you're telling the people they don't know their identity, and then they ask you, well, what's my identity? And you can't give them, what tribe they're from or what their nationality is. Understand? So that's very important. So the 12 tribes, understanding 12 tribes, very important. And then knowing, of course, the law, the commandments. Okay, knowing the law, statute, commandments. That's high up there. Okay, because the law, statute, commandments is really intergrained with the culture of Israel. That's intergrained with us. Understand? Even though the law, statute, and commandments is really for all, it's for the whole earth. It's for all men, right? All nations supposed to keep the commandments. But of course, the Most High gave to Israel first. So that's intertwined with the culture of being a Hebrew Israelite. The law, statute, commandments. Okay? The dietary law, that's part of your culture. Even though we know the dietary law, nobody should be, no nation should be eating pork, shellfish, all that. But we know it starts with Israel first. Okay, so that's integrated with our culture. Your dress code, you know, how Israel is supposed to dress, integrating with your culture. All right, the moral laws, how to treat, you know, how to treat one another morally and neighborly and civilly. That's integrated. Even though we know when you read the 10 Commandments, all nations should keep that, right? We know that, but it starts with Israel first. So that's the laws and statutes is integrating with the culture of Israel. Understand? So we got to understand that. So that's very important. And get this one, Psalms 40, I think it's 40 and 8. We come in the volume.
Oh, Psalms 47.
47.
Is it 47 or 40?
40 and 7.
40 and 7. Correct. Read that for us. That's very important. Okay, read that.
Read from the book of Psalms, chapter 40, verse 7. Then say I, lo, I come in the volume of the book.
Yeah, see? He comes in the volume. So this is the volume of the book, and it's the Most High's Word, the Torah, the Pentateuch, the Old Testament, the New Testament, the Gospels. The Most High come in the volume of the book. And of course, you know the Bible teaches you about the book of Jubilees. That's the Most High in Yahushua. That book is too. The book of Enoch, that's the Most High in Yahushua also. Okay? The book of Jasher, that's in the Bible. Okay? That's the Most High too. The Josephus, that's the Most High in Yahushua. Khan? All those books. Okay? And then there's you know how many books Israel wrote out there? Okay? There's a lot of books that's out there. A lot of books. I mean, you got the book of Peter. I'm not talking about Peter in the Bible. I'm talking about the book of Peter. There's a book of Paul. There's a book. Israel got thousands of books, but of course, the Most High wants to deal with this first. And so there's a lot of history out there concerning Israel and what the Most High. Remember, what did Yahushua said about everything that he did when he was on this earth? That it can't be contained in books. It's just too much. Too much. You know how many books Proverbs Solomon wrote? You don't even have half of what he wrote in the Bible. The Proverbs. You don't have half. See? There's books that's out there that's kept in a lock and key in the Vatican City. You understand? So all that's important. But the main thing the Most High wants to get is this Bible right now. Okay? So he comes in the volume of the book, and finish that. Yeah.
Then said I, lo, I come in the volume of the book. It is written of me.
Yeah, see, the book is written of the Mashiach Yahushua. How about that? All throughout history, all right, it's been written concerning the Mashiach Yahushua. Okay? From Adam all the way up until today. Okay? The book is written about the Mashiach Yahushua. How about that? All throughout the history, from the prophets, from the ancient forefathers, all the way up until the New Testament time, when the disciples was on there, it was all talking about the Mashiach Yahushua. It always has been. Okay, Khan? So even during the time of Abraham, okay, get Genesis 14. Even during the time of Abraham, Genesis 14:18. Now we know that the Mashiach wasn't called Yahushua during that time, but the Mashiach Yahushua was a prophet of the Most High and was seen of prophets during that time, even during the time of Abraham. Okay.
Genesis chapter
14, and we start from the 18th verse.
18th verse.
Yes.
And Melchesidek, king of Salem, brought forth bread and wine, and he was the priest of the Most High.
How about that? Who is this individual called Melchizedek? Who is this individual?
Yahushua.
Okay, good. But I'm just saying that in the general sense. Who is this individual? All of a sudden, but he's not saying, it doesn't say Yahushua there, does it? Right? So, but Abraham met Yahushua coming back from the war that he had, destroying the kings of Sodom for kidnapping Lot. They kidnapped Lot, right? And Lot, the nephew of Abraham, he was kidnapped by the kings of Sodom. And when Abraham heard that, what did Abraham do? He gathered up 300 trained men, servants, trained specifically by Abraham. Was Abraham a warrior? Yeah, he was. Just 300, okay, it says 318, but about 300 men. And he destroyed 5 kings and their armies. How about that? Just 300 men. So they were men of war, weren't they? That's why they got these movies called 300 and so forth. Right? 300 trained men. Abraham. Most people don't look at Abraham as a warrior. Revolutionary is a man of war, brother. He'll kill you. Yeah. So they kidnapped Lot, and Abraham said, "What?" You know, and took all the possessions and so forth. And also the king Chedorlaomer, he defeated him in Sodom. Matter of fact, he was able to get back some of the possessions of the kings of Sodom. Okay, so because they were ruled by another king, and this king, you know, was wicked as hell, so he kidnapped Lot and took all the possessions in Sodom and Gomorrah. So once Abraham heard about it, he went to war. He got his trained men. Those are all the trained men in his household, 318 men. And when he got those men all together, he went down there and just destroyed them all and took the possessions back. In other words, got the possessions, all the possessions back that they had took. And of course, brought back Lot, his wife, and everybody. And so on his way back from the war, what happened? He met Melchizedek. Okay, that's who he met, Melchizedek. And so read that again out. Read that one more time.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 14, verse 18. And Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought forth bread and wine.
Now what does Salem means? King of peace. King of peace. We're going to prove it. It means king of peace. Melchizedek itself, the word means my righteous king. Okay, that's what it means, my righteous king. Okay, king of righteousness. I'm going to show you. Yeah, that's the Mashiach Yahushua. All right. Okay, go ahead, Al.
And he brought forth bread and wine. And he was the priest over the Most High God.
He was a priest of the Most High. Okay, he was the priest of the Most High. Okay, now we're going to show you in other scriptures where it teaches you that Yahushua came from the lineage of a tribe that the priesthood was not offered to them. But Yahushua, of course, as we know, is the chief priest. Okay, the Most High teaches you that. Okay, he became the chief priest. But this here it says Melchizedek, the priest of the Most High. All right, so we're going to show you that. But this is who it's talking about. Okay, go ahead. Was that it on that? Go to the 19th. You read the 19th verse?
Verse 19. And he blessed him and said, Blessed be Abram of the Most High God.
Yeah, blessed be Abram of the Most High power. Blessed be Abram of the Most High power. So here's Yahushua, the Melchizedek, blessing Abraham. He was Abram at this time, and then his name was changed to Abraham. Blessed be Abram of the Most High power. Go ahead.
The possessors of heaven and earth.
Right. Possessor of heaven and earth. Okay. So now Yahushua is blessing the chosen of the Most High, Abraham. And what did Abraham do? Go ahead.
And blessed be the Most High God, which he hath delivered thy enemies into thy hand.
Okay, blessed be the Most High Yahweh. Try to say Yahweh. Okay, when you can.
Blessed be the Most High Yahweh.
Go ahead.
Was he delivered thy enemies into thy hand.
And delivered thy enemies into thine hand. So, Abraham, in destroying those kings that kidnapped Lot, realized that it was the Most High that delivered the enemies into his hand. Okay, so you got to remember, the Most High, the war and the battle is won, okay, by the Most High. Okay, even though we're his battle axe and weapons of war, when you go out there to battle, let's say when you go out there to speak now, spiritual battle when you go out there to speak, spiritual battle. But you know, when you are able to teach the Most High's word and convince the gainsayers and so forth, that battle is won. That's the Most High. Okay, it's in you. The Spirit is in you, but that battle is won by the Most High. So that's why you always give the Most High honor and praise and reverence at all times. Okay, so Abraham understood that too. Okay, go ahead, Al.
And he gave him tithes of all.
And he gave him what?
Tithes of all.
So tithes in the Bible? Yes. Yes, he gave him tithes of all. Okay, so Abraham did take some spoils from that war. He did take some spoils from that war, and he gave Melchesidek. For right now, I'm going to use that name, Melchesidek. Tithes of all. See, so a tithe just means tenth. That's all. Just means tenth. See, so are we supposed to give a tenth of what we make? Yeah, we are. We are. Now, you might hear some brothers who will contend and say, well, tithes are not talking about money. Yes, it is. It's talking about whatever the Most High bless you with. Understand, come? We know we don't have farms now, and we can't bring tenth of our crops and grain and all that. We don't have that now. So today, what can a tenth be? Whatever the Most High bless you with. Understand? If you got 10 houses, and the Most High bless you with 10 houses to get, a tenth of that would probably be like one house. Maybe you can offer one house to the school, or you know what I'm saying? Whatever he bless you with. You got 10 cars, okay, and your offering would be a tenth of that. Okay, one car you give to the school. Now I'm not saying you got 10 wives, and then you offer one wife to the school. We don't want your wife, but I'm just saying. We don't want your wife, but I'm just saying, you don't understand what I'm saying, huh? But whatever the Most High bless you. But hey, but what does the scripture say? Every male that comes out of the matrix is whose? First, the Most High. The firstborn is the Most High. How about that? See? So if you got 10 sons, and that firstborn come out, hey, that belongs to the Most High. How about that? See? So, you know, but still, today we don't have, you know, acres of land and all that where we can farm and bring, you know, the first grain or the first fruits of our land that come forward. Okay, we in captivity. So it's whatever the Most High bless you with now. Understand? And that's what it is. So if it's, you know, you go to work, you got a job, and you get paid $1,000 a week or whatever, you're supposed to give 10% of that, and then that's your offering to the Most High. And the Most High see that, brother. Even today, the Most High see what you get. The Most High see it. Remember, the scripture says Most High's eyes are not far off. The Most High says, I'm a power at hand. Most High, in other words, he's right here. Boom, and right here. See, he's not way up out of outer space. The Most High is here. So whatever you do, the Most High see. Whatever it is, brother. The eyes of the Most High are 10,000 times what stronger than the sun. So the Most High's eyes are right here. So Most High see everything. Understand? You can't hide nothing. You know, You can't do nothing in secret the Most High don't know about. Understand? So Abraham was blessed, and the first time you read about tithes, that's the first time you read about tithes, that Abraham gave a tenth, straight to Melchesidek, straight to him. Now, why would Abraham just out of nowhere Melchizedek appears? So it had to be, Melchizedek had to be something of the Most High, an angel or something of the Most High for Abraham to just give 10% right then and there.
Good.
It had to be. It wasn't one of those kings that lost everything in the war. It wasn't them. See? So it had to be. He had to be somebody from the Most High. Okay, so it's giving you a clue because it said he was the priest of the Most High. See? It's giving you a clue. Okay, and so when you go to and that was it, right? That was from 19th verse. Yeah. Right, and then go to Psalms 110 and 4. Psalms 110. Maybe you could start from the first verse. Start from the first verse, real quick. Go ahead.
Reading from the book of Psalms 110, verse 1. And the Most High said unto my Lord, sit thou in the right hand until I make thine enemies thy footstool.
Okay, read it one more time. Read it a little bit more clear. One more time.
Then the Most High said unto my Lord, sit thou at my right hand until I make thine enemies thy footstool.
There you go. Okay. So this is David, right? What is David saying? The Lord said unto my Lord, see? All right? The Lord Yahweh said unto my Lord Yahushai, sit down on my right hand till I make thy enemies thy footstool. Now, you're talking about David seeing that way back then, way before Yahushai, okay, came on the scene, but he's seen that in the vision, that Yahushai would be ultimately sitting on the right hand of the Most High. Was David a prophet? Yeah. Oh, Yahushua showed David all type of things out. In spirit, all type of things. Okay? And so he's seen that. He's seen that vision, that ultimately Yahushua would be. And he also seen and understood that Yahushua would come through the loins of David. What did they call Yahushua? The son of
David.
Right? Understand? The son of David. David understood that Yahushua would eventually come through his loins to set up the kingdom of heaven. That's why they say the son of David. But we know when you read the scriptures, Yahushua's immediate father was who? No. On the earth.
Joseph.
Huh?
Joseph.
Joseph, there you go. It was Joseph. But you read the lineage, it goes all the way back to what? David. Okay, son of David. So, but David seen that in the spirit, that ultimately Yahushua, all right, and Yahushua, as Yahushua, he wasn't around then, Yahushua, but in the spirit, David, the Most High showed David that Yahushua would eventually come out of his loins and sit on the right hand of the Most High until he make his enemies thy footstool. Go ahead, up.
Verse 2. And the Most High shall send the rod of thy strength out of Zion.
Where?
Out of Zion.
America?
Out of Zion.
How about that? Out of Zion. Because Qatar's up. You got to wake up. You got to wake up. Drink some water, whatever, but you got to wake up. You just coming back now and you're falling asleep already. Wake up. Read that part one more time.
And the Most High shall send the rod of thy strength out of Zion.
Out of Zion. See, the rod of thy strength, does it come out of America? No. I got news for you, brother. We're not getting no strength out of America. Nothing. Nothing, brother. All we got here now is we got the word, right? We got the word. We come together as much as possible. We rehearse the righteous acts as much as possible until Yahweh Shai deliver us out of America, redeem us out, and deliver us back to Zion. Because that's where the strength is coming. That's where power is coming. That's where salvation is coming. Redemption, everything in Zion. You understand? Okay. That's where it's coming. Just like coming out of Egypt. Right? We didn't really get our strength and everything until we got into the land of Canaan. Come? Yeah. All right. The Most High just had to deliver us out of bondage, out of Egypt. Right? With plagues and everything. It's going to happen that way in America also. But he had to redeem us and bring us out. Then begin to build us back up into the wilderness. Just like the scripture says, we're going to be brought back to the wilderness. And the sinners are going to be purged. Same thing this time. So you may think, oh, I'm okay. I've been delivered out of America. No. No, if you're a sinner, your ass is going to hell. Your ass is going to be put to death in the wilderness. You're going to be purged out. So don't think because you delivered out of America that everything is straight. Understand? You still got to begin to uphold, repent, keep the commandments and everything. See, so don't start going off in the wilderness because you were saved out of, right? Out of the plagues that's going to come to America. So the same thing. Okay, go ahead, Op.
Rule thou in the midst of thine enemies.
See? So the strength is coming out of Zion, right? Redemption is coming out of Zion, but rule now in the midst of thine enemies. See? That's how, through the Mashiach, how we're going to rule in the midst of our enemies. The strength and the spirit of Most High is coming through us from Zion, and that's how we're going to rule in the midst of our enemies. That's how we're going to rule out. We ain't gonna rule nothing over here. See? What can you rule over here? Nothing. There's nothing over here for us. Nothing in this Western Hemisphere that's for us. It's gonna be destroyed. Nothing for us. So the Most High is building us up, and we have to understand that we're gonna, our power is gonna come down to us from the Mashiach in Zion. Okay. That's where our knowledge, wisdom, our wealth is at, everything in Zion. Our land in Zion, everything in Zion. Okay? Go ahead, Al.
Verse 3. Thy people shall be willing in the day of thy power.
Yeah, how about that? In the day of thy power, our people shall be willing. How about that? I got news for you, and it's not going to be over here. It's not going to be over here. It's going to be when we get over here. Then the power, the Most High, Yahweh Shai is going to send power to us. Then our people should be, because they're going to see the power that Yahweh Shai is going to bring to us. You got the 144,000. Understand? The first fruit of the Most High. They're going to gain power. Then our people shall be willing. See, that's when the disciples got power in Jerusalem. Remember? They got spiritual power in Jerusalem. Day of Pentecost. And they were all on one accord. Remember that? They were all on one accord. You have to be in one accord, otherwise. See, is this power you got? You know, yeah, you got different Israelite camps, but we're all scattered about different, different ideologies about the scriptures and all that. That's not power. It has to be on one accord. Understand? It has to be on one accord. It's going to come to that. Yahweh Shai is going to bring. He said, we see through a glass darkly. But when he comes, he's going to bring everything straight. Everything is going to be, we're going to see everything clearly. Okay, Kun? But we're still supposed to what? Search out. Search the scriptures. For in them ye know you have eternal life. Still supposed to search out the scriptures, and the Most High bring it to us in stages. See? A little bit here, a little bit there. As we gain, more and more knowledge and wisdom, Most High bring more and more to us. He doesn't give us it all at one time. Now we know the Feast of Dedication is in the winter time. We knew it then too, but we just wasn't practicing it. Didn't come to us, you know what I'm saying? Things come to us at different stages. Understand? It was one time that, that we didn't know how we were getting out of America. See? We know now about the chariots. At one time, we didn't know about the chariots. Understand? There was a time we didn't know about the new moon, but we didn't know to celebrate it as a high holy day. Come?
Sure.
Stages. The different stages. And we got to be willing to accept how the Most High is bringing it to us. And be willing to change as the Most High is bringing us to wisdom. Change into it. Understand? And don't be afraid of that. Understand? So, you know, and that's how the Most High builds you up. That's how he's building Israel up. See? Okay, come. Go ahead, Up.
In the beauties of holiness, from the womb of the morning, thou hast the dew of thy youth.
Thou hast the dew of thy youth. So beautiful for holiness. Thou hast the dew of thy youth. So in your youth, you're what? Strong. You have strength. All right? And then your job is to gain wisdom and knowledge of the Most High and increase in learning and knowledge and wisdom. All right? Go ahead, Up.
Verse 4. The Most High hath sworn and will not repent. Thou art a priest forever after the order of Melchesidek.
See? So the Most High has sworn. Thou art a priest. Is David really talking about himself here? No, he's not talking about himself. He's talking to, he said, the Lord said unto my Lord. See? He's talking to the Mashiach. Come?
Come.
But after the order of Melchizedek. He's a priest forever after that order. All right? Because don't you know that when you talk about Levi, and Levi, the order of the priesthood was given to Levi. Come?
Come.
Given to Levi. And there is a structure and an order to it. Okay? If you deviate from that order, what's going to happen? What happened to Aaron's sons? Poof. Puff of smoke. Because they deviated. You understand what I'm saying? You can't deviate. So when David is saying after the order of Melchizedek, see, there's an order to what Melchizedek, now we know Yahushua, is an order to what Yahushua is bringing. And he's bringing everything that the Most High told him to bring. There's an order to it. If you deviate from that order, you're going to be put to death. It's as simple as that. See, that's why David said after the order of Melchizedek. Because there's an order to the Levitical priesthood, and then of course Yahushua is over the Levitical priesthood. There's an order to what Yahushua is bringing. So that's why the Most High said after that order. And we read in that order. When you read the Bible, you're reading that order. You're reading it. Laws, statutes, commandments. You're reading that order. That's why it says Israel should be a what? A holy nation. A nation of what? Priests. A priest is somebody that can administer commandments and laws and statutes. Even though you're the tribe of Judah or Simeon or Ephraim or whatever, you're still priestly because you're able to administer the laws and statutes. You're able to teach somebody the commandments. All right? Now, you're not of the Levitical priesthood or Levite, but you're able to teach somebody the commandments. Nation of priests. Okay? That's what we are, nation of priests. So after that order, read that one more time.
Verse 4. Oh, slide. Verse 3. Verse 4. Slide.
4. Yeah.
The Most High has sworn and will not repent. Thou art a priest forever after the order of Melchizedek.
Right. So after the order of the King of Righteousness. Okay? And so this is what you're reading. This is the order that the Most High gave the Mashiach Yahushua. This is the order Yahushua is going to pass down to Israel, to us. Yasha is passing it down to us. And we're going to be the leaders of this earth. We got our job to pass it down to who? The other nations. Understand? Yahushua is not going to be on the earth to rule on the earth, but Yahushua is going to rule in the heavens. So he's just going to pass it down from the heavens to Israel, Yashala on the earth, and our job is to pass it down to the other nations. That's going to be our job, basically, in the kingdom. To begin to go out to the other nations and teach them. This is the order. If you deviate from this, there should be no rain on your society, no rain to grow your crops. And all we got to do is Yahushua, Egypt didn't come to the Passover. That's all we got to do, right? Yahushua, he determines, no rain. And Yahushua listened to us. We said, look, they were stubborn, they didn't want to hear us, they don't want to hear nothing about no commandment, they don't want to do the commandment, nothing. And all we got to do is say, Yahushua, I think that, there should be no rain on Egypt. Scripture says we're gonna be able to instruct angels, right? And the angel gonna go back to Yahushua. Says, look, the priests of Israel said, look, the Egyptians don't want to come to the Passover or the day or the Feast of Tabernacles. They suggest Yahushua that it should be no rain for 3 months. No rain for 3 months. Yahushua gonna say, okay, I agree with that. Just cut off the rain. No rain, nothing. Not an inch of water, not a drop. Nothing. They can't even borrow water.
They come past no rain.
They even try to borrow water. They go, that's it.
They can't divert the water from the Nile.
They can't divert it from the Nile River. That's it. That's it. And Yahushua, why? Because at that time we're going to be in our righteous spirit, especially 144,000, right? And Yahushua is going to hear what we have to say. And we say, look, Egypt is stubborn. They don't want to come to the tabernacles at all, and they cursing us out. They got a lot of lip. And we're going to tell the angel, and the angel going to go to Yahushua. So this is what the priests of your people say, that we should there should be a judgment on Egypt for not keeping the commandment, and it'd be no rain. Okay. It's as simple as that, brother. We're going to have that kind of power. Understand? That kind of power. And don't let them try to borrow water or siphon water somewhere else. Then it's going to be, then we're going to go in there with troops. With troops. You know what I'm saying? So, that's how it's going to be. See? So it comes from Yahushua, it's passed down to Yasha Allah, and then Yasha Allah passes it down to other nations. And that's how it's going to be. Okay? Go ahead up.
Verse 5. The Most High at thy right hand shall strike through kings.
He's going to strike through kings. So his right hand. His right hand is the Mashiach. You know that, right?
Good.
That's the Mashiach Yahushua. That's his right hand. Okay, go ahead.
In the day of his wrath.
In the day of his wrath. So there's a set time for the wrath of the Most High. Set time. Even though the Most High can bring his wrath now. Okay? The Most High can bring his wrath right now. You hear about the floods in Saudi Arabia. A lot of the catastrophes and stuff that's happened throughout the earth, you don't even hear about. That earthquake in Alaska. Did you see it? Split things right in half. All right. Understand? But you didn't hear too much about it. But yeah, the earthquake in Alaska. Floods in Saudi Arabia. Things happen all over the earth. Every single day. See, but that's the wrath of the Most High. But we know that this is talking about the wrath. The top wrath. Understand? The top wrath when Yahushua come. Okay? And destroy the Antichrist and the kings that the Antichrist bring and the armies that he brings to the valley of Jehoshaphat, the wrath. Okay? But the Most High is bringing his wrath every day. Little what? It's in what stages? A little bit here, like a woman in travail. A little bit there, a little bit there. It increases. There. It increases so much Esau can't report it all. There's not enough time in the day to report all the wrath of the Most High. It's not. Right? Everything that's happened is not enough time in the day. It's just too much. So Esau keeps it out of the news. Now, if it's something major, yeah, but it's just too much. And then a lot of things he keeps out of the news that he knows it's directly from the Most High. A lot of those things, a lot of it he keeps out of the news. You know, if it's directly from the Most High, you know, he'll keep out. But there's some things that are too catastrophic that he has to put in the news. He has to put it in there. Can't keep it out. It's just too catastrophic. Okay? But it's happening every day. So go ahead, I'll finish that.
Verse 6. He shall judge among the heathen. He shall fill the places with dead bodies.
Yes, judge among the heathen, dead bodies. How come they don't read that in the churches? Dead bodies. Most High's a killer. Yahweh is a killer. Man of war. Right? The Lord feasts on blood. I mean, he says there's no redemption without bloodshed. Most High is a warrior. Okay, but we know for righteousness though, right, Kun? So, but he said he's going to fill this place with dead bodies. A lot of dead people is happening. Also with Israel. There's going to be a lot of dead of Israel too. We're not just talking about the Gentiles or the heathen. We're talking about of Israel too. Because Israel, a lot of our people act like heathen. They acting like the heathen. So Most High said, judgment shall begin at the house. It's going to begin at the house of the Most High. See, Israel. It's going to begin there. Just like you read in Ezekiel 9, he said, look, charge them that have the leadership to draw near, everyone with a slaughter weapon in his hand. Slaughter weapon in his hand. And they started first at the temple. And these leaders went out and, you know, like Most High said, like, get your weapon of choice. Most High didn't care. Whatever your weapon of choice, Most High said, go get it, because you're gonna do some killing. And then everybody, whatever your weapon of choice was, you wouldn't got it. So Most High said, now go throughout that city and kill everybody. Slay utterly old and young, women, even little children. How about that? Little children. See? So these churches, they don't know the Most High. They really don't know the Most High. Most High really. All they know is God is love. That's all they know. They don't know the Most High is warrior. And he will slay the wicked. And that's what's coming. And the Most High said, what? Sins against the evil works are executed speedily. So that's why you see people doing evil out here and it's not happening quick enough. You know, because, you know, you're in here and you learning the truth. You're saying, how come the Most High don't come now and kill them? Because the Most High said, don't worry, it's coming. It's coming. All right. Go ahead, Op. Was that it?
I'm going to start again from the top.
Yes.
He shall judge among the heathen.
He's going to judge among the heathen. See, judgment day. He's going to judge among. Remember, there's a time for everything. There's a time to be born, right? A time to die. There's a time to plant, a time to pluck up that which is planted. So the judgment of the heathen, it's coming. There is a time for it. It's coming. That's why the Most High said, watch. Pray as well as just watch and wait for it. It's coming. Go ahead, Up.
He shall fill the places with the dead bodies.
Going to fill the place with dead bodies. Go ahead.
He shall wound the heads over many countries.
How about that? Who are the heads? The leadership, the Illuminati, the elite. You name them. The Congress, the Parliament, the Mossad. You know, you name them. All the governments are going to wound their heads and fill the places with dead bodies. It's coming. He's talking about the whole earth. Go ahead, Al.
Verse 7. He shall drink of the brook in the way. Therefore shall he lift up the head.
And that's it? Okay. So, so concerning Melchesidek, Yahweh David is saying, after the order of Melchesidek. Okay, and we know that order is what Yahushua teaches us in the scriptures. Not only the Gospels, but what's in the Old Testament, what's in the Torah, what's in the law that the Most High gave Moses. Okay, all the way up until today, what's contained in this word today. That's the order of Melchizedek. You gotta understand that. Now get Hebrews 5. Hebrews 5. Yeah, you can start with the first verse. Hebrews 5 and 1.
Reading from the book of Hebrews chapter 5 verse 1. For every high priest taken from among men is ordained for men in the things pertaining to the Most High.
Right, see? Every high priest is taken from amongst where? Amongst men. Right? So when the Most High wants a high priest for the nation of Israel, he takes the high priest from who? And from what tribe specifically? Levi, yeah. Okay. He's ordained for man, amongst man. Okay. Go ahead, Al.
That he may offer both gifts and sacrifices for sins.
See? And doesn't the high priest do that? Especially on what particular high holy day that he does that specifically? On the Sabbath, and what other high holy day? There's another day of atonement. Correct. Offer both gifts and sacrifices. They do it on the Sabbath too, but mainly the day of atonement. Both gifts and sacrifices. Okay, for the nation. Go ahead, up.
Verse 2. Who can have compassion on the ignorant?
Who can have compassion on the ignorant? Go ahead.
And on them that are out of the way.
And on them that are out of the way. Go ahead.
For that he himself also is compassed with infirmity.
Yeah. The high priest, when he goes, especially for the Day of Atonement, when he goes into the Holy of Holies, he makes an atonement not only for the people, but for who?
Himself.
Huh?
So you put yourself
for himself. Right. Because he's compassed with infirmities too. He has sinned too. How about that? Even the high priest. He gotta make an atonement for his sins also. Okay. And that's why the Most High, that's why it's saying there that who can have compassion on the ignorant unless he himself is going through some trial or tribulation also. Right. That's why we even today as prophets and speakers of the Most High's word and teachers, don't we go through trial and tribulation? Yeah. You can't be set up, you know what I'm saying, high up, and you're not going through nothing, because your compassion for the people is not going to be the same. When you read the Bible, all the prophets went through what the people were going through. When it's time to go into captivity into Babylon, Jeremiah went too. Ezekiel went too. When it's time to suffer with the people, Isaiah and all the prophets, they did too. Suffered right along with them. Understand? Daniel, right along with him. Because that's how, one, that makes you a better prophet. That makes you more of a spiritual prophet. You're suffering along with your people. And now you're in the same position, so you can better teach the Most High's word on a more spiritual level because you're suffering with them. And then you understand their needs and what they're going through and so forth. So, yeah.
You can get them the support that they need as well.
Yeah. Okay, Con. So go ahead, out.
Verse 3.
How about Yahushua? It's going to tell you. Go ahead.
And by reason hereof he ought, as for the people, so also for himself, to offer for sins.
Yeah, see? So the priest offered for himself the sins also. He atoned for his own sins. Con? So when you atone for the sins, let's say of your family, well, you're atoning for yourself at the same time. Understand? Con? Okay, go ahead, out.
Verse 4. And no man taketh his dishonor unto himself, but he that is called of the Most High, as was Aaron.
Okay, Aaron was called of the Most High. Go ahead. And remember, a priest has to be called by the Most High. You can't make yourself a priest. You can't make yourself a prophet. You can't, you know, you're going to do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm this and I'm that. No, you have to be called with the Most High. Come?
Done.
Yeah, you can't just make yourself king of the people and then the Most High didn't choose you. Understand?
Done.
Or the Most High gonna destroy you. He's gonna take you out of the way. All right. What happened when the I think it was the Canaanites who stole the Ark of the Covenant? All right. Now they gonna be the people. They got the Ark now. They gonna be the people. What the Most High do?
Well, for one, he destroyed their
Yeah.
God.
Good.
Yeah, destroyed them.
Destroyed them.
Okay, destroyed them. Killed many of them. Plus they had the Ark with them. But all of a sudden they gonna make themselves, you know, the people. It's not gonna work. Okay? It's not gonna work. So even amongst Israel, if you get somebody who's gonna try to sneak in here like a thief, understand? And the Most High didn't choose him as a shepherd or as a leader, but he come in like a wolf. Eventually he gonna be found out. He gonna be destroyed because the Most High didn't choose him. The Most High has to choose you. All right. Even when you come in these doors, the Most High has to choose you. See? Now you may say, "Well, there's brothers that come in here and the Most High didn't choose them." Yeah, that's true. But what happens to them eventually? See, eventually, yeah, they're sifted out. Eventually, they're sifted out. See? So that's why the Most High said, "Let the wheat and the chaff grow together until He begins the sifting process." See? And that's what you see. But it's the Most High. You know what I'm saying? He brings in who He wants to bring in and cast out who He wants to cast out. Yeah.
Even Esau knows that.
Yeah.
Even the other nations know that.
Kind of.
If you look at the movie Raiders of the Lost Ark at the end, when the Nazis tried to read what was in read the tablets.
Yeah, the tablets. Yeah.
And they got burnt up.
They got burnt up. Yeah. In the end, right? Got burnt to a crisp. Yeah. Understand? So, I mean, the Most High did that in Israel, right? I mean, wasn't the ark being brought from where David said, "Look, let's bring the ark. Let's bring it home." And it hit a rock or something. The wheel or something hit a rock, and the ark was falling down. And a particular man was just trying to save the ark. Just trying to keep it supported up. Didn't want to hit the ground. What the Most High do? Bam!
That's it.
Done deal. Just that quick. I mean, he was just trying to save it. And the Most High said, "Nope." Yeah. So I'm going to show you the Most High. You have to be chosen. And you can't. Yeah, even David, that was really for David to see. You know what I'm saying? Be careful. Be careful. It was just, you know, that's the Most High just chose that brother who it happened to. You know what I'm saying? But that's a shame, right? The brother said, I bet you the spiritual word said, "Damn." I bet he got to H.O.D.C. I said, "Damn, man. I was just trying to save the ark. I didn't mean nothing, Lord. Can I go back down there and start all over again?" No. But that's it.
What tribe was the Barak from? Did it stay?
I think it was Benjamin. I gotta check it out again. I'm not sure. She wouldn't know what tribe. I don't know. You gotta read it again. It was just a particular brother that. Yeah. So I'm gonna show you the Most High. So you have to be chosen. Okay. All right. Go ahead, up.
Verse 5. So also Hamashiach Yahushua glorified not himself to be made an high priest.
Yeah, so he didn't glorify himself to be made high priest. So who made him high priest?
Most High.
Most High. He didn't glorify. The Yahushua would have been fine and sitting up there with the Most High forever. But no, Yahushua, you got to go in there and die for the people. It was like, oh man. And this is what you got to go through. Yeah, how about that, huh? Yeah. How about that? What if the angel came to you right now and says, "Look, yeah, I chose you. Okay, but before I make you what you're going to be, you got to go through this and that." And what if this and that was, you know, being strung up on a cross, being whooped hundreds and hundreds of times, Understand? And going through all this madness. See, you yeah, you was like, but the Most High, you know, but still, see, even Isaiah, when he had to eat dung, you know, first it was human dung. But Isaiah said, Most High, you know, I'll do anything, but can you make it a little sweeter? You know, can you make it cow's dung or something? Because at least a cow eats nothing but grass. So that may be a little bit more palatable. But dung is dung as far as I'm concerned, brother. Human dung, cow dung is dung.
Cow and eat grass.
Yeah, at least, you know, it may be a little bit, you know, cleaner. Right. But yeah. But the Most High really told him, go ahead and eat your dung. Be an example for the people, because that's what they're going to eat amongst the nations. Crap. That's what you're eating, crap now. So Isaiah had to be the prophet to be the example to show the people. Was it Isaiah or Ezekiel? Ezekiel. I'm sorry. Yeah, Ezekiel. To be the example that our people were going to eat. And he had to actually, before the people, eat cow's dung. And you got it because the Most High chose you. You're a prophet. He chose you. So the same thing with Yahushua. Most High said, before you go down there and become the Mashiach Yahushua, this is what's going to befall you. Yeah. And Yahushua had to go down, you know, be born as a baby and all that, and go through. Let me show you. He had to go through what everybody goes through. He had to feel the emotions. He had to feel what it was like to be tired. He had to feel, because Yahushua is coming from the spiritual world, full of power and force. He didn't want to come out here and feel what it was like to be a human, but he had to be done, right? And so, so Scripture tells you, that's why it says, even Yahushua cried. He knew it was like to cry. He knew it was like to feel pain. Now, what? Remember, it said every high priest has to go through what the people go through. So Yahushua, being the high priest, he had to come down and go through what the people are going through. Trials and tribulations, the cross. He had to feel it, man. He had to feel it too. You feel it. Yahushua had to feel it now. Yahushua can say, look, look, Mosiah, I know what he's talking about, because I've been through it.
Exactly.
I've been through it. Okay, go ahead, up.
Thou art my son. Today have I begotten thee.
Thou art my son. Today have I begotten thee. How about that, up? So the Most High made the Mashiach his own son. So the Most High does have a son. And you may say, well, Israel is called a son too. Yeah, but before Israel is called a son, who's a son? The Mashiach. See? Yahushua was his son even in the spiritual world. First, remember, he said, I'm the Alpha and Omega. First angel of the Most High created. Okay? His son. And then, of course, all angels become, then he creates all angels, and then when he creates the nations on the earth, he made one his special. See, Israel, you're a special people unto the Most High. See, you're a special people unto him. You are his firstborn son of the nations. Even though the Most High created all nations. He created the wicked too. He created the heathen, the Most High created. The Gentiles, the most heathenistic of all nations, the Most High created. See? But the Most High said, Israel's my son. He said he gave his commandments to Israel first. Not the heathen. See, that made us special. Because he said he made a covenant with us by sacrifice. That's what made us special. That's what made us his people. The covenant of sacrifice. Blood sacrifice and all that. That's what made us his people. And then the covenant of the Sabbath, the covenant of circumcision, see? And all the different covenants and everything. Keep the commandments. It locked us right in. You can't get out of it either. we ran, but we couldn't hide. Yeah, we ran to other nations and all that. We can't hide. Adam tried to run. Remember, he tried to hide amongst the other nations too? Because he knew he had sinned. Moses said, nope. I got you. I see wherever you running. Said he couldn't hide amongst the trees. Said he couldn't hide. Couldn't hide. See? Because we are special. Because we're that people. We're different. See? Remember he said, one, the elder shall serve the younger, one shall be different. One's going to be stronger. We're just different. Doesn't matter where you go. You can go Israel, right? Yashab. But it first starts with the Mashiach. All right? So he said, this day you're my begotten son. Go ahead, Up.
Verse 6. As he said also unto another place, thou art a priest forever after the order of Melchesidek.
There we go again. And this is the book of Hebrews, correct?
Correct.
Who's writing this? Huh? Who's writing this?
Paul.
Paul, correct.
Paul.
Paul wrote the book of Hebrews to the Hebrews. All right. And Paul, he got that after the order of Melchizedek. Where did he get that from? We read it already, right?
Come from the law.
From Genesis, right? And also we read it in the book of Psalms, right? That's where Paul got it, brother. Right?
Right.
So I think Ash was saying it this morning, right? That we're not teaching anything different. Paul was teaching the same thing. We're teaching the same thing that we're teaching right now. So was David, understand? So was the ancient father, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, teaching the same thing. Huh? Nothing has really changed. We're just in these times now, near the end of time, near the end of days of pretty much of Esau's world. Well, nothing's changed. So that's why even Paul is reiterating the same thing David said, and David reiterated the same thing that Abraham, right, was teaching about Melchizedek. Nothing has changed. So now we reiterate it again. After the order of Melchizedek. So read that one more time.
Verse 6. As he said also in another place, thou art...
And where is that place? That's... Go ahead.
Thou art...
No. In another place where? We read it earlier.
Genesis 14:18.
Okay. See, that's what he means, another place. Genesis, that's where it's also mentioned. Okay. And in Psalms 110 and 4. Go ahead, Al.
Thou art a priest forever after the order of Melchizedek.
See? Okay, a priest forever after that order. So, what is the Most High showing us here? That it has to be after that order. If there's any other order, you come in any other order,
You out of order.
you out of, you out of order. Yeah. If there's any other order, you out of order. Yeah, you out of order. Yeah, how about that? So the Christian order? No.
Out of order.
Muslim order?
Out of order.
No. Roman Catholic? Catholicism? Out of order. Yeah, you got Jehovah's Witnessism?
Out of order.
Out of order. Egyptology?
Out of order.
The conscious community?
Out of order.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Easter?
Out of order.
Christmas?
Out of order.
Out of any other, yeah, it has to be that order. That's what he means. Because it says, Melchizedek, my king is righteous. That's what and righteousness is the order of the Most High. Yahweh, what the Most High gave us. Law, statutes, commandments. Righteousness. All right? So it can't be by any other order. So Paul understood that. Understand?
So what the first Israelites had gotten was something very, very special and they didn't know?
And probably didn't know. Okay? Only, again, only those high priests and prophets, they understood. But, you know, our people have a hard time understanding. We become rebellious. We become rebellious. And in rebelliousness, then the Most High has to bring punishment and judgment. Understand? Look, during the time of Enoch was that high prophet too, right? All right? And the people followed him, and he prophesied, and Enoch lived to be over 300 years old. See? Over 300 years old. So, even during his time, he was prophesying what? The same thing we're prophesying, huh? Right. Right. Same thing we're prophesying. Read the book of Jude. We're the same thing. All right? Nothing has really changed. The prophecy, you know what I'm saying? The Most High said, I'm the same today, yesterday, and forever. So what he gave Enoch, he's given to you now. Okay? What he gave Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, he's given to us now. All right? Same thing. Go ahead, Al. So that was it on that, right?
Good.
And read that next verse. Let's see what it says.
Okay. Verse 7. Who in the days of his flesh?
Who is that talking about? Yahushua. In the days of his flesh. Okay, go ahead.
When he had offered up prayers and supplications with strong crying and tears unto him.
See, the Mashiach even was going through cries, tears. He felt emotions, felt what it was like to go through things. He felt what it was like to be tired. See, like the brothers here, guitars up, falling asleep. He felt what it was like to be tired. See? Felt what it was like everybody hounding him for something. You know, Yahushua could heal the people, right?
Good.
He was healing us. But everybody, you know what I'm saying? The throng of the people was on him all the time. After a while, you're going to get tired of that, brother. That's why Yahushua had to go away from the people sometime. Yeah? Understand? Away from the people on a boat, way in the middle of the water. To get away from the people. Just after a while, it would drain you. And so he is amongst the throng of the people, thousands of people all around trying to get, you know, heal me, whatever. And one woman touches him, doesn't even touch his body, touches what? The hem of his garment. A lot of virtue went out of him. Even from the hem of his garment, the virtue went out. Now here go thousands of people trying to get to him. Woman just touches the hem of his garment. Yahushua feels that.
Touch me.
You know how the spiritual level you got to be on?
Wow.
Well, do you ever sometimes, you have to be in this truth for a good, you know, and you have to be like in the spirit. But sometimes when, you know, you get Edomite or whatever, or heathen or whatever, and they touch you, let's say you at your job, and all of a sudden here come on, hey, it's Quan the Posh, you know.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Don't you feel something?
God.
You can just feel a little bit of energy being drained, just enough where you say, what the hell? Okay, yeah, hi. I can feel it. I can feel it. Yeah, I can feel it. You know, I've experienced that. I can feel it. You know. And they got their whole hand just like on your shoulder or something. Esau want to touch you.
Good.
You know, even in their demonic state, they know you're the spiritual people. They know, you know what I'm saying? That's why they want your organs and all that. They want your heart, they want your liver, because they know you're the people that the Most High is with. And so there's power, even in your organs, even in your body, right? There's power, he knows that. So even on a certain level, you have spiritual power still. Yeah. So don't get jacked up in a car accident and you half dead. You might not come out of it alive. You're alive, but you might not come out of it alive.
Suffocate you.
They're going to look around and say, wait a minute. This man got some nice organs. Next thing you know, brother died on the highway. You know, a minor car accident. Minor, how'd he die? Next thing you know, your heart is taken, your liver's taken. You'd be surprised, yeah, you'd be surprised, yeah. They do that. They do that, yeah. That's why thousands of our people are missing. Where are they? You mean they can't be found?
They're gone.
Without a trace? You know, but they'll let a little white girl be missing. They can find that thing in 2 days. Find a little white girl in 2 days. But all these young black children of our people are missing, thousands. They don't report it. They're not reporting it. But it's thousands. You got to look it up yourself. Thousands, without a trace. Where all these people at? When Esau got telescopes and everything, they can find all kinds of things. You can find moons and planets. You know what I'm saying?
But you can't find.
You can't find. You know, you got satellites that can see everything, and they can't find these people. So you know they're taking the organs, sacrificing in witchcraft and all that stuff, and gone. So this is what's happening. But it goes to show you that Yahushua had that kind of power and that kind of virtue where it just drained him just enough where he could feel it. Who touched me? You know? And what did the disciples say? How is that? There's thousands of people here. What do you mean? Who touched you?
That's Jake.
What are you talking about?
That's Jake.
Yeah, it's Jake, right? Peter probably said to Matthew, Matthew, do you believe what he just said? There's too many people here. How are you going to ask that question? But it turned out somebody did, right? It turns out. So I'm just saying that even with yourselves, and you're really in this truth, in the spirit, somebody touch you like that, and they're like, you know, a heathen or whatever, and you can feel that little, that's a little, I don't know what that is, a little tinge of something. You know, when they touch you, I'm like, what the heck is that? And you know, and then you're almost like, look, man, don't touch me. You know, but you're at your job, so you gotta like realize, you know. But yeah, it happens. Who had a question? Somebody? Nobody. Okay. Go ahead, read on.
Okay. I'm gonna start from the top again. Who in the days of his flesh, when he had offered up prayers and supplication with strong crying and tears unto him that was able to save him from death.
Right, see? So that's what we're supposed to do. Remember, Yahushua giving the example of what we're supposed to do. You offer up prayers, right? In your time of trials and tribulations, because you're going to go through it. You're going to go through it. So you offer up your prayers and with cries and tears, whatever, you know, whatever. And every day, okay, every day, okay, you offer up your prayers to the Most High. This is what the Most High wants. Yahushua was that example. And Yahushua felt it, brother. Okay, it wasn't just, you know, he knew that he had to go through, you know what I'm saying? But also he felt it in his body. He felt the pain, the anguish. He felt it, you know what I'm saying? That's why he cried. Even on the cross, he was crying. He felt the anguish. So it's one thing, okay, you know you got to go through this, but he still felt the, you know what I'm saying? And another thing, yeah, he had the spiritual power and all that, but he still felt the tribulation, he still felt the trials and tribulations of anguish and emotion and you know, how it felt to be knowing that your enemy is coming down upon you, can't do nothing about it, you know, that frustration, like, God damn it. You know what I'm saying? If I can just whoop your ass. But you can't do nothing about it.
Good.
Yo, man, I'm telling you, that's a lot of anguish, and you feel like depressed. You feel, you know, and you can't do nothing about it. That's what captivity is like.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so Yahushua felt all of that. You know what I'm saying? He said, I can call 12 legions of angels right now and kill you, destroy you, take you down. But it's not my time. It's not my time yet. And so he knew that there was a job had to be done. Okay? So he felt it. So go ahead up.
And was heard in that he feared. Verse 8. Though he were a son, yet learned he obedience.
See, that's our job. See, how do you learn obedience? You got to go through some trials and tribulations, and then go through being in positions where your enemy is down upon you and you can't do nothing about it. If you don't learn obedience, then something wrong with you. Something wrong. See, all right. That's why the Most High put us through this. Okay, he said, Israel, your heaven shall be like what? Iron? Oh, huh? Yeah, like iron. Yeah. You can't go, there's nothing you can do. See? We can't get through this. Esau's running the earth. There's nothing we can do. Tell the Most High, take him out. See? Understand? Go ahead up.
Though he were a son, yet learned he obedience by the things which he suffered.
Yeah, things which he suffered. See? So this is your learning time. You're supposed to learn. This is your learning time. See? And then the Most High bring you the truth. You're supposed to learn the word and learn the truth, your identity, wisdom, and knowledge. This is your learning time. See? Go ahead up.
Verse 9. And being made perfect, he became the author of eternal salvation.
Yeah, see, and we're supposed to be the same way. You're in the process of being made perfect. You understand it, right? You're in that process. All right? Even though you have sinned and all that, but you're in the process of being made perfect. So understand that. So allow that process to take place. See, when you rebel, you're interrupting the process. These niggas interrupting the whole process. They're just niggas. They're making it more difficult for us than it should be. You understand? Even though it's going to be that way, but I mean, some of our people are just, you know, they are like, you know, stubborn, spoiled children. They don't want to, you know, they don't want to go through the process. Right. It's like, you know, if you know, you've been to school, you in elementary school, junior high school, and you're in the classroom, what the teacher has to do when there's somebody that's talking, interrupting the process? They have to do what?
Remove them.
You got to stop the class. You got to stop
The learning.
Okay, the learning process.
Right.
Because of one or two individuals that's holding up the whole thing. See? So we're holding up our own, you know what I'm saying, salvation and everything because it was, you know, because of the niggas.
Not even that. In the same classroom, if one or two try to get it,
yeah,
they gotta go over the whole process.
They gotta go over the whole thing. See? So it takes more time.
Yeah.
All right, and that's, you know, that's basically what's happening now. So we have to go through that process too, but allow the Yahweh Shai to work with you through that process, okay? And then you'll come out a better Israelite, better individual, a better, you know, child of Yashala, a better child of the Most High that way. Understand? Because that's what the Most High wants. The Most High wants to see, okay, who's out there that would be my servant? Who would serve me? That's what the Most High is looking for. Because if you're not serving the Most High, you can only be serving Satan. Because that's all there is. You cannot be there's no middle ground. I know some people say, well, I don't serve Satan either. You know, but yes you do. He just deceived you, made you think that you're not serving him, but you are. See? But you are. There's only two spirits. There's either righteous or negative. So you either, if you're not serving the Most High, then you're serving Satan. Either knowingly or unknowingly, you are. See? Understand? So go ahead.
Verse 9. And being made perfect, he became the author of eternal salvation unto all them that obey him.
Yeah, see? So that's why the scriptures say we can strive to be equal to Yahweh Shai. Okay? Yeah, of course we can't be equal to the Most High, but we can be equal because Yahweh Shai was in the flesh. He suffered, you know what I'm saying? So we're in the flesh and we've gone through, we can strive to be on that level, Yahweh Shai. Okay? And that's what we're supposed to be striving for. Then Yahweh Shai, he went through that, and so his reward was what? He became what? The Son of the Most High, right? And the second, right, on the Most High's right hand, and he's the author of eternal salvation. That's his reward. All right. And as Israelites, Yasharallah, the nation is going to look towards you, our people, us, as what? The same type of way.
Being a light.
Yeah. We're going to be a what? A light unto the nations. All right? We're going to be that light unto the nations. They got to come to us for that eternal light. The knowledge and understanding of that eternal light. That only emanates from the Most High and Yahweh Shai. That's it. But they got to come towards us. See, the nations don't want to come to us. That's why they're proud. They don't want to come towards a bunch of niggas. You know, to ask a bunch of niggas, you know, about the Most High, what the Most High requires. They don't want to do that. That pride is in them. Just think, the big bad Egyptians, they don't want to come to no niggas. Big bad Saudi Arabia, they don't want to come to niggas. What about the Most High? They don't know. What's his commandments? They don't want to do that. Chinese, Japanese, they don't want to do that. But they're going to have to. They're going to have to. They're going to have to. Just like if you say you don't want to go through Yahweh Shai. Don't you have Israelites now? The Old Testament Israelites say that? Who's JC? Who's this? No, he's nothing but a prophet. I don't have to go through him. I can go straight to the Most High. Straight. Most High.
ain't got no mother and father. I was
Huh?
born myself.
Yeah, I don't need no man. I don't need H.O.D.C. He was a prophet. I don't need him. Straight to the Most High. Bypass. You know what I'm saying? See?
Order of Melchesidek.
Bypass the order of Melchizedek. It's bypassing everything. See? Messing up the process. Just blowing the process down the drain. I mean, come on, you just blew the whole process. See, now, yeah. Because when Yahweh told our people, don't take the idol gods of the nations. Remember in the wilderness?
Good.
Told us, don't take the idol gods, nothing. Don't take no spoils, nothing. One nigga. One Negro. Now here, we stood 600,000. We had an army, you know what I'm saying? We had a big army.
Good.
And one Negro took the spoils and messed the whole we were winning in the wilderness. Every war, you know what I'm saying? All nations came against us. The Most High would command Moses, send him out, go fight the war, we'd win.
Good.
There's one time. I mean, this is amongst Joshua, when Joshua.
Right.
But one time, one nigga messed it all up. We lost. See what one man can do?
Good.
Mess the whole process up. Just like the example of in the classroom. Mess the whole process up. One nigga. That nigga gotta go, man.
You have to search for that's process going on.
Oh, they searched the hell out of that place. Boy, they went through every tent. Know what I'm saying? And yeah, it went through every tent, nook and cranny, brother, looking for that dude.
Go to Fitz, this is why we lost.
Yeah. Whole family put to death. Whole family, yeah.
And not even that. They think he only took a coat. He took silver.
He took everything that he wasn't supposed to take, spoils.
Yeah.
Idol gods too, whatever. He took all that stuff. One man. See? And then the process stopped. All because of one man. See? And so that means we have to, you know, again, go back and start teaching all over again. Don't take any spoils. You have to do the process all over again.
Right.
And then most I will, the next war, we go out, you know, hopefully nobody take nothing. Or whatever, you know what I'm saying? You only take spoils when the Most I say you can take it.
Good.
That's what happened with Saul, right? You only take it when the Most I say take it. Yeah.
That's what I explained to some of the brothers and sisters why he always called David his servant.
Yeah.
Because if you tell David, go here, kill everybody,
Kill everybody.
Alive,
Right.
David did it.
And he did it.
Right. He did what he said. Yeah.
That's what he want. That's why he said he became obedient from the things that he suffered.
Right.
If you're not obedient now, I don't think you ever will be, brother. After all this captivity and what we're going through under the white man and everything, you know, what's going through with your families and every, you know, financial issue, all these different things that's happening. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't obedient now, after all these hundreds of years of captivity and everything, you ain't gonna never be obedient.
Right.
Yeah. But some of our people are just that way. They're rebellious, just rebellious. You know, the same ones that were in the wilderness, murmuring. Those rebellious are the same ones back here today. They're gonna be the same way. And some of us are gonna be the ones searching out these niggas. Where's that nigga at? Bring him out. And kill his whole family. Yeah. Gonna be that way. Yeah. All these examples are gonna happen because the Most High say it's gonna happen. Yeah. Okay, go ahead, Doc.
Verse 10. Call of the Most High and High Priest after the order of Melchizedek.
There we go again. It's all over the scripture, isn't it? After the order of Melchizedek. See? That's the special order. See? So it's like when you go to these fast food joints and you ask for an order, you order your food any way you want, and they give it to you. If they don't bring that order the way you specifically asked for, the way you want it, what do? Take it back. Or you reject it. So if you don't go by the order of Melchizedek, and which we know is the Most High's law, statute, commandments, and everything He asked for Israel to do by this order, if you don't do that, is the Most High going to reject you? Yes, because it's not by the order, what He ordered. It's not by what He ordered, because if I look and my fish sandwich don't have lettuce, tomato, cheese, and relish, that's how I order mine. You know, if I do order a fish sandwich, I want to get all that stuff, right? If I don't see one of those things, look, man, I'm turning back too. I'm turning back, go back.
That's right.
So you get your order right.
Get my order right. I'm going to reject it. So the Most High, what the Most High is saying is, some of you are out of order, and I don't want you. Because it's not after the order of Melchizedek. It's not after the right order. I'm rejecting you. So that's where the purge is going to come in. I shall purge the rebels out from amongst Israel. And they will not enter into the land. Because you're not of the right order. Remember he said the marriage at the supper, the parable of the supper that Yahushua had. Here come one nigga with a damn, not the right garment on. So everybody got on white garments and everything. Here come a nigga with a, you know, dark blue, whatever, black, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Wrong garment. Wrong garment, not in the right order. He'll stick out, won't he?
God.
Get him out of here. Gotta go, gotta go. Moses said there should be weeping and gnashing of teeth. There's going to be a lot of people who don't have the right garment on. And that means also the knowledge and wisdom. Here we're talking about, you know, things pertaining to the law, statute, commandments, about Israel, our culture, custom, language, Hebrew, everything. Here you come talking about Egyptology. You know what I'm saying? Speaking Swahili or whatever. Nigga, where'd you come from? Wrong garment, wrong order. Purge. Gotta purge them out. See? That's what Yahweh trying to say. There's gonna be a lot. Even at the wedding, you got the wrong wedding garment on. When people do weddings today, don't they get everything in order, structured and everything in order? And they even get down to the garments, right? What you gonna wear? And everybody's garment's supposed to be this way, that way, this way. The groom and the bride, their garments and everything. Everything is set. And everybody has their garment supposed to wear, but one nigga decides he ain't gonna wear that because you know he don't want to wear that. He want to wear something else. He want to wear just something different. You know what I'm saying? But he was given his garment. He was giving it to him. But he gonna decide his own mind. He gonna change order. You know what I'm saying? So here you are in the wedding now. You're in the wedding. But you're gonna decide by your own, you ain't gonna call nobody up. You ain't gonna communicate. You ain't gonna ask. You're not even gonna ask. Just gonna come to the wedding with something completely different. When that wasn't what we had practiced. Just that's what our people do, man. It's out of order, man. You come with completely something different. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, how can man at the supper, the marriage supper, here comes the Yahweh Shai and said, okay, everybody ready? This is the supper. This is the marriage wedding, you know. And here come a nigga way over there. You know what I'm saying? It's something completely different. I'm saying, that's not what I ordered. I didn't order you to come that way. You know? And he's talking Egyptology, conscious community, talking out of the, you know, what the hell? Get him out. And he's just going to command the ones, you know, get him out of here.
But you know, sometimes in the bridal group or team, the people who's having the wedding pay for your outfit.
Pay for your outfit. But this nigga, he don't want it. It's paid for and everything. All the money spent, everything. Money spent, he gonna change the outfit. So he don't deserve. And a lot of our people don't deserve it. They don't deserve it. Yeah. Okay? That's why Yahweh Shai said the way he said it, because they really don't deserve it. Understand? Some of our people have to be put to death and then come back and, you know, in the regeneration, reincarnation, to be retaught again. It's better for them to be put to death and then come back again and be retaught. Because there's really not too much you can do with them now. Understand? So that's why the Mosai said, Yahweh Shai said, he thanked the Mosai that all those that the Mosai gave Yahweh Shai, he hasn't lost one. See? He hasn't lost one. Yeah. And that's lots of our people, right? So thousands and thousands of our people. But then the ones that are lost, the ones that Yahweh Shai wasn't given, yeah, they out here. Some of them might come in here too. And be taught. But Yahweh Shai said, you're not mine. I never even knew you. You remember he said, depart from me, you're a worker of iniquity. I never even knew you.
Right.
And they've been taught, they've been sitting there, come to high holy days, whatever. And that's going to happen. That's going to happen, man. Yeah. That's your H.O.D.C. That's why I said, let the wheat and chaff grow together. Because your H.O.D.C know who the Most High gave him. One from a city, or one from a house, and two from every city. See? One from a household and two from every city. I'm going to gather you, and we shall all go to Zion. See? He said, that's how I'm going to bring you to Zion. One from a house and two from a city. One by one, the Most High is gathering Israel. One by one. See? But some of you may say, well, 2 or 3 of us came in at one time. No, but the Most High woke you up one at a time.
Right.
Understand? Woke you up one at a time. Understand? Sometimes you out there speaking, how many people out there listening? One man. Just one man. A big camp, right? Big elaborate camp. One man sitting right there. Oh, I've been through that many times. I spoke. We had, 10, 20 brothers in the camp, right? And just one man sitting there, because that's how it is that day. But that's who the Most High want. And you still have to be as diligent as you are for one man as you're speaking to 1,000. The same spirit, understand, and the same teaching ability has to go out for one man as you are speaking to 1,000. That's the way it is. And then there are days you're going to speak to 10, 20, 30 people. You love those days, but when it's just one man, you got to love that too. And sure enough, if Most High want that man, he's going to come right in. Understand? He's going to come right in. See? And it was well worth it. See? Understand? That's going to show you the Most High. He said, I'm not a power far off, I'm at hand. So the Most High did all that, had this elaborate camp, and all these brothers standing on posts, holding camp for just one man out there that day. For just one. See? You would think the Most High created heavens and earth and billions of people. Said, for that day, I'm only going to deal with one man. I'm going to bring that one. Yeah? Millions of all people all over the earth. Most High said, that day I just want this one. See? That's how the Most High is, right? He dealt with Abraham that way. He dealt with Isaac that way. Jacob that way. Just one. One at a time, right? Go ahead up. That should be it. Okay, go ahead.
Of whom we have many things to say, and hard to be uttered, seeing ye are dull of hearing.
Right, so that's Israel, right? There's many things to say, but our people are dull of hearing. So you got to realize, in true essence, when the prophets, especially the priests, when they taught, it was a long period of time. It wasn't just no hour. You know how long Ezra was stood in that pulpit?
Yes.
It was all day.
All day.
You know what I'm saying? It was all day long. But we're so dull of hearing. You know why? Because the activity of the world got our people. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It attracts our people. And so when you come, into the truth and you got to sit, you can't sit but for like maybe 30 minutes. And then what happens? Them spirits start hitting on you. You're like, I gotta go, man. I got things to do.
Good.
Yeah, there's some spirits in you.
Good.
The worldly things.
Right.
Then all of a sudden you start feeling sleepy. You know what I'm saying? Where'd all that come from? You know what I'm saying? It's the worldly, you know what I'm saying? The worldly stuff.
Right.
You're supposed to be all into this. But out there in the world, you'd be fully awake. If it was Farrakhan speaking, what would you do? Understand? T.D. Jakes speaking, you'll be all into it. See, the world, you're into what's out there in the world. But when you're coming from out the world into the truth, a lot of them spirits start jumping off of you. And then you start, like, what is this? See? So you begin to feel it in your body. But you're supposed to transform. See? You're supposed to take off the old man. Understand? And then put on the new man as you come in here. And then be highly attentive. But your mind, a lot of brothers, their mind be all, worrying about your girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? Worrying about how much money you're going to make, how you're going to get money, how you're going to rob this, how you're going to do this, how you're going to get high maybe. We got brothers that still get high, brother. There's brothers in the truth that get high every day. Been in the truth 10, 20 years. Brothers smoke cigarettes, there are all kinds of brothers like that. Huh? Do all type of things. Okay. They think smoking cigarettes is, they still smoke. Huh? See? Not getting rid of, not trying to get rid of them, But yeah, the Most High is long suffering. Long suffering. So, you still have, you still have that grace, but you're supposed to work on getting those, worldly things out of you.
Okay.
As soon as possible. You're supposed to work on it. But the Most High did teach us, just like Paul, he said, the things that I don't want to do, I do. There's no more that I do it. It's sin that lieth in me. So how should I know where we got those sinful things?
Right.
But he said, where a righteous man fall 7 times, you know what I'm saying? There's no condemnation to them that are in Hamashiach.
Okay.
But Yahweh Shai is not looking for you to say, oh, just willfully go do something. Okay, I haven't got high in a long time. I haven't got high in 3 years, so today I just feel like getting high. Let me just go get high. Next thing you know, you got a line of cocaine. Yeah, I'm just saying. Yeah, Okay, you're good. You stopped it for a long period of time, but now you're just going to go back to it because, we had brothers that went back to pork. Pork, all that. I work at a psychiatric facility. There were brothers, I was a brother there. And he was a patient. Yeah. He said, yeah, Barak, I eat pork and everything. You know what I'm saying? That's my vice or whatever he said. He said he went back to eating pork. I said, okay, huh? What do you want from me? What do you want me to do? You a patient here. So, you take your medication? Huh? I hope you took your medication. There was a patient there. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so, I met a few brothers there. You know what I'm saying? So, so what, what are we going to do? You know what I'm saying? So the scriptures teach you, any man that take hold to this word and then look back. And then look back. Not fit for the kingdom. Okay. Why would you go back to, once you learn what pork is about, just think about it. Once you learn that, why would you go back to it? It boggles my mind. Okay, when you're out in the world, you get cocaine or whatever, you smoke, weed or whatever. Okay. But then once you come to the truth, you learn what those things do and and the spirits those things carry. So why would you go back? Right. It just boggles my mind. See? And that's what some brothers are doing. Understand? But remember, the scripture says, those type of demons, when you come into the truth, they flee you. But as soon as you go back out there, what do?
Come back.
The demon said, hold up, man. To the other demon, hold up. Let's go back. We found out something. The nigga left. And let's go back. And then they find your house, your body, swept and garnished. More demons take on you than the original ones that left. Understand? So you don't want that. And those demonic forces are real. You see them in churches every day. You see them out there in the world every day. What you see out in the world is demonic forces. That's all it is. The LGBT, the homosexual rappers, and all this stuff. It's all this is demonic forces. Right. You know what I'm saying? And the religions, what they do in the churches, all those demons. That's all it is. In people. Causing people to do that. You see when someone think they got the Holy Ghost? You see how they act, all that jumping around? Demonic spirits. And you see how they look? They all look out of, you can see the demons in them. Yeah. Understand? It's just madness. And they do the same thing. Beyonce and them do the same thing on stage. Right. You know what I'm saying? And all these singers and rap stars and Hollywood, they do the same thing on stage. These demons take hold of them and they just start going off, man. They just start, they don't know what possessing them. It's a possession. Right. Okay? And you don't want that. And them demons don't go nowhere. So after they entertained the people, hundreds of thousands of people in the audience, be entertained by demonic spirits. And then these people, they go home. They're at rest, but those demons are still there.
Yeah, right.
They're still there. This is what we're dealing with. Okay. All right, and then now get Hebrews 7, and we've got 10 more minutes. Hebrews 7 and 1.
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 7, verse 1. It says, "For Melchesidek, the king of Salem, the priest of the Most High, Yahweh, who met Abraham and returned from the slaughter of the king, and blessed him." Verse 2. "To whom also..."
Okay, slow down. Now read that one more time. Just slow down a little bit.
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 7, verse 1.
Okay, go ahead.
This is Melchizedek, the king of Salem.
So, Melchizedek means what?
King of peace.
Yeah, my king is righteous. Okay,
Yes.
my king is righteous. King of Salem. Salem means what?
Peace.
Peace. Right. Salem means peace. That's where the root word of Jerusalem come from. City of peace. See? Salem, Jerusalem, Salem, peace. But Jerusalem means city of peace. Salem, peace. Okay, go ahead. And then, of course, in the Hebrew, it's what? Shalom.
Shalom.
Peace. Okay, go ahead up.
The priest of the Most High.
The
God.
what of the Most High?
The priest of the Most High.
Here it is again. So Paul is reiterating. The priest of the Most High. Go ahead.
Who met Abraham and returning from the slaughter of the kings.
Yeah, return from the slaughter of the kings. Abraham did what? Slaughtered them. 300 men slaughtered the armies of all these kings. See, that's right, Israel. We the mighty men of the Most High. Most High don't need a lot of men, brothers. Okay, many are called, few are chosen. You don't need a lot of brothers. That's what brothers understand. Most High don't need a lot of brothers. Remember the brother with the one talent? And he refused to use his talent?
Right.
I said, okay, I don't need you. I'm going to take your talent. By the way, give me your talent. Give it in. Give it up. I'm going to give it to the next man.
Right.
And then you go on and wallow in the wind. That's all they're going to be doing. See?
And it's funny that when you're reading this thing, the book never mentioned that Abraham was training for war or anything.
No, yeah. But in Genesis, it does say his men were trained.
Right.
It said 318 trained servants. So, did Abraham train them?
Yes.
Abraham was a warrior, brother. You know, because you have this picture of Abraham as like a, full of gray grandfather type, right? No, that was a warrior, brother. And he might have had, of course, fully gray or whatever, but he was still a warrior. Understand? Still a warrior. Abraham lived to be what? 170, I think 175 years old? Something like that. Isaac lived to be 180. But yeah. So that's the thing. Here he is 100 years old going out to war. I forgot how old he was at that time. This is, yeah. I have to read it again. But here he is, over 100 going out to war. How about that? Because, you live to be 175. When you're 50, you 25.
That's right, you got it. 15.
Yeah. When you're 80, that's nothing to you. That's like probably you 25, 30 years old. Going out to war. See? Wow. That's the spirit of the Most High. And remember, Moses has said he was 120 when the Most High took him. Says his strength didn't abate any. His strength didn't wane. So Moses was 120 like he was 19 years old. So-called 19. Yeah, strong. Yeah, strong. You understand? So that goes to show you what we have now, our strength. Most High took everything, brother. Because we're weak as hell. We can't do not even half of what our forefathers were able to do at age 150. We can't do none of that stuff. See? Remember Elisha? 2 oxes. Plowing the field with 2 ox. One on his hand, one on his hand. With 2 ox. And he's controlling the ox. How much an ox weigh? A couple tons?
Yeah.
Whoa! You know what I'm saying? No, that way. Right. Yeah. He's, you know what I'm saying? Plowing the field with 2 ox. Strong. Here we go. Yeah, we can't even hold a dog. A little puppy. Yeah, a little dog.
Dragon.
How could one chase 1,000 except to be the Most High? You know what I'm saying? We run from a little dog. You know what I'm saying? David, take a lion. You know what I'm saying? You're talking about a lion, brother. A lion will kill an elephant, giraffe, it'll kill, you know what I'm saying?
Good.
David took a lion like it was nothing. Bears like it was nothing. And here we run from little bulldog. These little pit bulls with nothing. You would take them, you know what I'm saying? But you running. Yeah? So how could one chase 1,000 except be beat for the Most High?
Good.
Would you run from a couple of white boys back then? No. You didn't run from 1,000 white boys back then. 1,000 Edomites you didn't run from. You fought them all.
Wow.
To the death.
You know what I'm saying? That's how we were. We fought them all. We weren't running from no couple of white boys, but now you see one. We're getting out of here. See? But that's the spirit. And most of us say, I'm going to take that spirit from you. Took that spirit. So everything. So strength, everything. All right. So go ahead up.
And blessed him, to whom also Abraham gave a tenth part of all.
Right. See, so it's Paul reiterating the story of how Abraham gave a tenth of all his winning spoils to Melchesidek, okay, who was king of Salem, king of righteousness. Okay, come. This is what he's reiterating. Go ahead, up.
First being by interpretation of the king of righteousness.
It's giving you the interpretation of it now. Go ahead.
And after that, also king of Salem.
See, king of righteousness and king of peace. How about that? King of righteousness and king of peace. So now, who is this alluding to? Who else can it be alluding to? Because, you know, some people want to try to say that's alluding to somebody else other than Yahushua. Who else can it be alluding to? And still you would hear like Christian pastors or whatever try to say, well, that was the king of Melchizedek back then. They don't try to put together that it's the Mashiach. They don't understand? They don't want to go, they don't want to take that next step and say that's who it is. You know, because they don't want to offend or whatever. But that's who it is, huh?
Yeah.
Understand? That's who it is. All right. Go ahead. You going to read on?
Was is the king of peace, without father, without mother, without descent, having neither beginning of days, nor the end of life, but made life unto the Son of Yahweh, abide a priest continuously.
Yeah, so he has no descent. This is when he came to Abraham.
So,
No mother, no father. How about that? No descent. So when he came to Abraham as what?
spirit.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. He came in the flesh,
Yeah,
but came from the heavens.
Abraham saw the spirit. That's why he
Yeah.
paid homage.
He came from the heavens because it's telling you that he had no mother or father. As Melchizedek, Yahushua came straight from the spiritual world. Right, Khan? Straight from the spiritual world. And he met Abraham. And Abraham understood who that was. I don't think he understand. He understood exactly who that was. Here goes some offerings, some tithes. Hey, Yahushua, what else you want? You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Verse 4 breaks it down.
Understand? Yeah, it's going to break it down. Okay? So at that time he came as from the heavens into a fleshly body, like the angels do. They come in the flesh and they speak to the prophets or whatever. That's how he came. But this was the Mashiach. This wasn't like Gabriel or Raphael, understand? This was the Mashiach. So that's why it explains it that way. He's Melchesidek, and he had no mother, no father, understand? And he came straight from the spiritual world. Because when an angel comes to you, the Most High doesn't describe the angel that way, does he? No, doesn't describe the angel that way. An angel's job is to do what? Bring the message. That's it. So why is the Most High going to say the angel, this is my angel, is no beginning, no end, no mother, father? No, Most High don't describe an angel that way. It's just an angel, because the angels, their job is to bring the message. That's it. But this was the Mashiach. So that's why Paul's elaborating on who this man really is. Okay, go ahead, Up.
Verse 4. Now consider how great this man was, unto whom even the patriarch Abraham gave a tenth of the spoil.
Yeah, how great was this man? See? It gives you all these different clues who it is. Great. And it doesn't mean just great like a king, mean great like he's from another world, right? He's talking about that great, right? From the spiritual world. Go ahead, Al.
Verse 5. And very they that are the sons of Levi, who received the office of the priesthood, having a commandment to take tithes of the people, according to the law that is of thy brethren.
Right, see? So the Levites, or Levitical priests, according to the law, are supposed to take tithes from the rest of the nation, right? The rest of Yasha'al. Okay, that's by law. So here it is now, Melchizedek is commanding Abraham pay some tithes. First time you ever heard about tithes, right? When you read that, first time. Right, show you tithes, even Abraham paid tithes. Yeah. How about that? Okay. And so, but Abraham paid tithes to Melchizedek, who is not of the Levitical priesthood now. Right. So he's not of the Levitical priesthood. Melchizedek is over the Levitical priesthood. You understand? Yahushua is over the Levitical priesthood. Okay, it's going to tell you that. You read on down. Go ahead, Al.
Though they came out of the loins of Abraham.
Though he came out the loins of Abraham, right? Yeah, he came out the loins of Abraham, but there were 12 sons and there were 12 families, 12 tribes, and Moses only chose one specifically to be the priest. Okay, but now we're talking about Melchizedek, who did not come out the loins, right? He did not come out of fleshly loins, right? That's what it's talking about. Go ahead.
Verse 6.
Yeah.
But he whose descent is not counted from them that received the tithes of Abraham, and blessed him that has the promise, and without a contradict, the less is blessed of the better.
Right. See, there's no contradiction. The less is blessed of the better. So Abraham was blessed by Melchizedek. Okay? And so, and then you bring it up to date, we know that's Yahushua. Yahushua, we are blessed in Yahushua. Yahushua blesses, we are the less. And Yahushua blesses his people, Israel. Okay? But in the 6th verse it says, but he whose descent is not counted from them, right? Meaning not counted as a Levite. He's not counted as a Levite, because he's not. Okay? Received tithes of Abraham, and blessed him that had the promises. Okay? Okay, now read the 8th verse.
Verse 8. And here is a men that died and received tithes. But there he received them of whom is a witness that liveth.
Yeah. Melchizedek, right? We know that's the Mashiach that liveth. Okay, Khan? Go ahead.
And as I may so say, Levite also who received tithes paid tithes unto Abraham.
How about that? Are the Levites themselves supposed to pay tithes? Khan. Even though they received tithes from the nation,
Right.
they also should put in their tithes also. Whatever the Most High blessed them with, they put in their 10%. Okay, come. Go ahead, up.
For he was yet in the loins of his father when Melchesidek met him.
Right, how about that? So, of course, Levi was still, we weren't even a nation then, right? It was just Abraham. We weren't even a nation. He was yet in the loins of his father. And Abraham obeyed the commandment, pay tithes. So, who are we? We're not going to pay tithes, or we're not going to, you know what I'm saying, give our offerings. Abraham did it. Okay, go ahead, up.
Verse 11. If therefore perfections were by the Levitical priesthood.
If therefore perfection were by the Levitical priesthood, go ahead.
For the under it the people received the law.
For under it the people received the law. Okay, come. Yes, they did. Go ahead.
What farther need was that another priest should raise after the order of Melchizedek, and not be called after the order of Aaron.
Right. See, there's no need for a change in the priesthood. But so there had to be a change in like the law. There had to be like a change, which that change came through the Mashiach. Okay, so it's only in the Mashiach you become perfected. Not just in the Levitical laws that you read in the Bible, all right, that's in the Torah, but it has to be, that's why the scripture says, through Moses came the law, but through Yahushua came what? Grace and truth. Okay? Grace and truth. So you could be somebody that's keeping the law. Okay, good. But do you have faith in the Mashiach? See, you have to bring those two together. If you're not going to bring it together, you keeping the law don't mean nothing by itself. See, it doesn't mean nothing. It has to be. You have to include. It says by the order of Melchizedek. It has to be in that order. Otherwise, it's not going to work. Even though you're staunch with the law, you know what I'm saying? It's not going to work. It has to be in the order. You have to have faith in the Mashiach. That's why when Abraham was about to deliver Isaac up, he did it out of what? Out of faith.
Oh, yes.
It wasn't so much that he was staunch in the law and kept the law to the T. No. Even though Abraham did, but it was what? That the Most High said, because you did that, I count that as righteousness. Because you were about to deliver up your own son. See? Faith. See? So faith and law has to be meshed together. You have to bring it together. You really can't have one without the other, because if you have faith in Yahushua, you're going to do what he said. I love Jesus, you know, the Christian. I love Jesus. Okay, well, you know, keep the law. Yeah, see, there you go. See, I'm saying how they try to skate away from it. You can't skate away from it. See? If you say you love your wife, what's she going to say?
Prove it.
Yeah, there you go. Prove it. You say you love me. You ain't, there's no rings on these fingers. Where those flowers at? You know, you didn't buy me that dress I asked for. You haven't proved it. See? Yahushua wants proof. See? And so, yeah. The Most High wants proof. He wanted proof in Yahushua. He had to go through it. Then proof. See? Understand? Action. Has to be some action. Don't just be a hearer of the law, be a doer. But again, don't just be a hearer of faith. You got to show faith too. You got to show love in Yahushua, okay? And then 12 and 13 and 14, and that was it. That'll be it.
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 7, verse 12 to 13. It said, for the priesthood being changed, there is made a necessary change also of the law.
How about that? See? So there's a change also in the law. Meaning, now you have to add faith. You have to add faith to the commandment. That's all the change is. You're adding, bringing in faith. Because the laws and statutes are not going to be done away with. They're not done away with. So you got to bring faith into it. That's the change. You got to add faith. All right, go ahead, up.
For he of whom sprang out of Judah, of which tribe Moses spake nothing concerning the priesthood.
Okay, nothing concerning priesthood. How about that? So that's the answer. Melchizedek is the Mashiach. Now read 15 right quick. That's all right. Read, who got it? 15. Read it.
And it is yet far more evident for that after the similitude of Melchizedek there arose another priest.
How about that? So that's the Mashiach, huh? Yeah, that's who that is. There arose another priest. But you know, Melchizedek and the Mashiach is one and the same. One and the same. So remember, the order of Melchizedek, that's the key. Everything's going after that order. Okay? And that's the righteousness, law, statute, commandments, whatever the Most High give us in the Bible, everything. That's that whole order. Okay? That whole order. Israel, how everything will be structured with Israel. Mount Zion, after that order. That's it. Nothing else. Not your own mind. Not, you know, most I don't care about your own mind, what you think, how you feel. Well, I feel this way. Yeah, okay. You can feel how you want. See? All right. When I bring that sword in your neck, you feel that too. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You can feel that too, right? It's all about feeling. So here, feel this sword for a minute.
It's gonna be real swift.
Yeah, real swift. So you know. Yeah, that's the way it is, Ak. Okay, so the water, Ak. Aqua. Okay, shalom.
Melchizedek.